Hi everyone, how are you doing? It's that time again for an income report. This income report is for KDP low content publishing for anyone who is new to my channel. And I'll be going over details such as ad spend, expenses, and also all the royalties, obviously. I just want to say before I start that these aren't typical results. It's not something you can just do quickly and super easily without dedicating time to it. And I believe it is harder now for complete beginners to start with low content publishing in comparison to what it was like a couple of years back. Although there are plenty of people also having good results that have just started in the last 6 months or so. So I did do a video about that recently, so I'll link it somewhere here above. I completely understand sometimes people don't like income reports or it can make them feel kind of worse. And by all means, if that's you, skip this video. But for those of you who are interested and find it interesting and useful, then stick around. So how was February? Well, it was fairly stable in comparison to the previous February, which I'll show you in a minute. And it was quite good with ads. My ads improved again in February, which was really promising. I will go over all the ad spend in a second. So I made $5,600 in February before expenses and ad spend. And as you can see, there was the odd larger day. The highest day was $434. The lowest was $135, and the second highest was $302. As you can see, I didn't really have any peaks around Valentine's Day because I don't have any Valentine's Day books. I did have a bit of a peak just slightly before, so maybe some of my books were bought for Valentine's Day, even though they're not specifically geared towards that. Do you do Valentine's Day stuff? I do plan to do some of the holidays and things like that. I tend to not get around to it. I wanted to do Mother's Day as well. Well, Mother's Day UK, which is in March. And I have some Mother's Day related books from last year and they're selling now at the moment. Just not that many, just some here and there. But I haven't created any more. But obviously, I'm really happy with that. It's saying I have 554 books. That is including some of the books I actually published in March. So I'll be talking about that in the next income report as well. I've just started ramping up creating a few more books again. Obviously, it's been really slow since October last year. I really slowed down creating any books for months. And I've just started getting back to that again, which I'm really happy about. So this was last year's February. So this was in 2021. And as you can see, it's really quite different. It was really up and down, had some much lower days. This seems more familiar in terms of how my income reports were in general last year in comparison to this year. This year it seems to be more stable a lot of the time without so many of these ups and downs. I don't know why that is. In total, it wasn't very much more than last year, so that was only about $400 if you take into consideration ad spend, which I'm not sure I would have had much ad spend last year because I'd only just started advertising in January and I was only doing a very small amount, I believe. So in all, it was probably basically the same as last February. So we'll have to see. So were there any surprises this month? Well, in February, I think I only published 1 or 2 books, but one of the books that actually sold was a merch by Amazon design. This wasn't the design, by the way. This is just one I made up in Canva. But I made some merch by Amazon designs in a particular niche. And then I thought, well, I've gone through that effort. Maybe I should just upload those designs onto notebooks. And I did one, but that one particular design actually sold a couple of copies. It's just organically, and I was a real surprise. Really wasn't expecting it, especially as I didn't sell any of the t-shirts whatsoever. So none of the designs have sold on a t-shirt yet anyway. But it did sell on a notebook. So I think that's just a reminder that if you are doing things like merch by Amazon or Redbubble, to put your designs onto notebooks as well, because you never know, or onto journals, and vice versa. If you're doing a design that could work well on a t-shirt, then maybe think about putting it onto other print-on-demand platforms such as Merch. If you're a member on Merch, you do have to apply for that program. or Redbubble, which you can start immediately. And I sometimes do better on Redbubble than I do on merch, and I have less designs on there. So it's definitely worth looking into. I don't make very much at all. It's like pocket money, to be honest, most of the time. During Q4, it's a little bit more. But I did delete loads of my designs. So I'm just kind of trying to build that back up again and seeing if I can improve. For me, merch is more like a hobby at the moment. I don't want to dedicate the amount of time required, really, if it's not going to give me a good return. So it's about thinking about your return on investment as far as your time goes, and is your time really worth putting into something that you don't know what the outcome is going to be, or putting your time into something that you know is going to generate you an income. So what I'm going to do is that I'm actually going to go onto the ads platform. Okay, so this is Amazon.com advertising for last month in February, and as you can see it, I spent $148 and my ACOS was 21.44. So this was just about profitable. And this is where you can see kind of how the days were, of some ups and downs. I mean, look at that one. There was the ACOS was 81% on that day. Was there? I think there was a high day. Oh yeah, here we go. So on this particular day, I had $160 worth of sales. So that was actually a bulk order, and the ACOS was 4%. So I mean, you can see how up and down this is, and it's just a reminder, really, that you can't base your ads just on a single day. So you do need the ads to have time to run. I have to say, mine were going really well in the US again suddenly last month, and then this month they were going okay, and now they've gone completely off. I might have to tweak everything again, but this is the thing with ads. It's like 1 month everything seems like it's going really smoothly and you've optimized your ads and they're working out, and then the next month it's just goes insane. So that's the way it is. But thankfully February was working out with all of the different platforms for me. So this was the US. So in the UK I only spent £55 and I made nearly £300 worth of sales, and the ACOS was 20%, which was a profitable for me. And again, you can see these different ups and downs. Sometimes I didn't make very much at all. This day I made zero. Most of my sales are organic. That means they don't come from advertising. They just come from people finding the book naturally on Amazon. Primarily, I focus on advertising my best-selling books, and I sometimes do new books as well to give them a boost, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. I do definitely have the better ACOS from books that do have 5-star reviews, obviously, and that takes time. You need to do that organically, so that just needs to be a natural process. So last month, Canada was my best ACOS. I spent 80 Canadian dollars and made nearly $700 worth of sales. The reason for that, though, was this big day at the beginning of the month where I made a sale of over $300. That's, I think, one of the lowest ACOSs I've had with Canada. Just to let you know, I'm sure you probably already know this, but these are the volume of sales rather than the actual royalties. For me, I usually get $2 to $3 per book. Total ad spend then was $276.06. That's roughly after I've converted all the Canadian dollars, pounds, and then there's 20% VAT that I get charged on top of that, which is about $50. So in total, it was about $331 that I spent on ads in February. And my other expenses are just my tools, which are always around $100 a month. I am considering cutting that down a little bit, or maybe changing it up a bit and using some different tools. I'm not really sure at this point. But I've linked to the tools that I use below. There's a link to my website, which has all different tools I use. And also there's just the main ones linked to in the description as well. So in total, that was $5,600 before the expenses, 100 on tools, 331 on ads. So that's a profit of $5,168, give or take. And that obviously is before, your regular tax that you have to pay, that we all have to pay on a yearly basis. So let me know how your February was. Was it better than January? Did you have some Valentine's sales? And how was your month overall? Let me know in the comments. Just to let you know, I do have a free mini course, and you can get that in the description below. It's just a mini PDF to help you get started with KDP as a complete beginner. So that's about it. It's just a quick overview of February for me. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to include in my income reports in the future. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you again very soon.